Polls are open, and on the ballot, you've got three choices for Illinois governor. Of course, incumbent Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker, Republican challenger State Senator Darren Bailey, and Libertarian candidate Scott Schluter. And I want to kind of just share with you some of the platforms they have, starting with the governor campaigning yesterday here in Springfield. And here's some of what he had to say on the campaign trail.
But good morning, Springfield. Good morning, Sangamon County. I want to start out by pointing out that with me today is the love of my life, the First Lady of the state of Illinois, M.K. Pritzker. It is great to see so many people out supporting Democrats, and we've got to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. I know you all are working hard to make that happen. I want to thank Aaron. Thank you for your leadership here on behalf of all the men and women of organized labor. Truly special to be able to be here today with all of you. Folks, this is it. We are in the last 24, maybe 36 hours before we win this thing, right? But we're going to have to work for it. If you've already voted, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have not voted, you ready? You've got your phone, IllinoisVotes2022.com, and you can find out exactly where to go to vote. If you're not even registered to vote yet, you can register to vote on the spot and then vote. All right? And you tell everybody that, because a lot of people don't know that. It's important that we get everybody out to vote. IllinoisVotes2022.com. It has never been more important to vote than right now, because Darren Bailey and the Republicans want to take this state backwards. Darren Bailey wants to end workers' rights to organize, and he wants to end the state minimum wage. Can you believe that? Now, I don't know if you know this, that he founded a school that teaches young people that slave masters were good to their slaves. It teaches in 2022, teaches young people that women are inferior to men. This man shouldn't come anywhere near the governor's office, and we're not going to let him, are we? Now, you all remember that in 2018, together we crushed the anti-worker Republican governor, Bruce Rauner, by the largest margin against any incumbent governor in the history of our state. And we're going to do it again on Tuesday to Darren Bailey.
So again, that's Governor J.B. Pritzker, just some of his stump speech here in Springfield yesterday. And Darren Bailey, the Republican challenger, I chatted with him for about 15 minutes about a week and a half ago. More of a profile, talking about who he is and maybe some of the things he would first do if elected office. Here is State Senator Darren Bailey talking about who he is as an individual.
I farmed all my life, Southeast Illinois at Effingham Bailey Family Farm. Been married to the woman of my dreams, Cindy, for 36 years. We have 4 children. We have now 12 grandchildren. And our 3 sons operate Bailey Family Farm, and we're just blessed that our children are all able to live and thrive, around in Southeast Illinois, and we want to keep it that way. And about 5 years ago, I got a little started paying attention to what state government was doing, and I wasn't very happy about it. So I ran in a primary and won, and I've served 2 years as a state representative. Then I've served 2 years as a state senator. A lot of people may remember back in July of 2020, I won a lawsuit against Governor Pritzker against his illegal and unconstitutional shutdowns of the state. And I've been kind of pushing back against the system ever since. And I got elected the same time that Governor Pritzker got elected. And I mean, I stand here before you today and just present the last 4 years to the people. And I have to ask, are we better off today than we were 4 years ago? And I think the answer is a resounding no. So I see safety being a problem, that we need to repeal the Safety Act. I see high taxes being a problem, that there's many things that unfortunately our budget has continued to grow grossly. over the last 4 years, and then our education system we're simply decimated. And I served for 17 years on our school board in North Clay, so my wife and I are passionate about the future generation, knowing that education is very important. So those are the three platforms and the pillars of which I'm running on as I've spent the last 4 years in the super minority, very limited as to what I can do. And so I had a choice. Do I just continue to serve and term limit myself to 10 years and do the best that I can do, or do I, knowing that the state of Illinois needs restored, do I step up, speak up, and push back? And that's what I've decided to do. So God's allowed the opportunity and opened the doors to run as governor. And I think that on November 8th, I believe Illinois is going to elect a new governor.
It's State Senator Darren Bailey. Of course, November 8th is today. It is Election Day. After the break, we'll hear what Bailey wants to do if he is elected. What's his first action? Then we'll also hear from the Libertarian candidate, Scott Schluter, about who he is and what some of his first actions would be if he's elected governor. So stay tuned. We'll get to those comments coming up here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast. Today, the high of around 61 with sunny skies. Gorgeous for Election Day. Tonight, the low of 48. Wednesday, sunny with a high of 72. Thursday, we're looking at a high of 72 with mostly sunny skies. It's going to be downright mild Veterans Day with a high of 43, sunshine, and then cold Saturday with a high of only 34 with mostly sunny skies. With the sun shining right now, it's about 45 degrees at 8:48 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Horses and clowns and acrobats. Oh my! The Ansar Shrine Circus brings the greatest show in 3 rings to the BOS Center November 11th through the 13th. And this 75th anniversary edition includes Grace Good from the TBS Go Big Show. Register now at WMAY.com for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets. It's a weekend of family fun with the Ansar Shrine Circus and 92.7 WMAY.
One of the easiest things you can do to prevent getting stranded tomorrow is check your battery today. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery. If you can take about 5 minutes out of your day, we can make absolutely sure your car battery is ready before winter. Just pull into Rex and we'll not only test the battery, but we'll make sure your alternator is doing its important job. Just because your car is running well now doesn't mean it's going to start when the temp drops. If you find your battery is near the end of its life, Rex Battery has car batteries for every make and model on the road. And more often than not, we have them for less than other places. Batteries are all we do, and we want to make sure yours is strong before winter hits. Just pull into Rex Battery anytime and ask for a free battery test. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
The Black Friday in-stock sales event is underway at Hendrick's Home Furnishings in Verdon. Make memories this holiday season around a new dining room table or give the gift of relaxation with a new recliner. When you shop Hendrick's Home Furnishings, you can save hundreds on all in-stock dining, in-stock bedroom, in-stock sofas, in-stock recliners, and more. Don't miss some of the best pricing of the year on the best brands during the Black Friday in-stock sales event, going on for a limited time at Hendrick's Home Furnishings, Route 4, Verdon.
Hey, John, when you think of the word supply chain, what's your next impulse?
No, turn off the news, run for cover, start whimpering.
Yeah, well, a customer of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World wrote in that they visited the store wanting to buy a microwave.
Something that used to be so simple.
Oh, right. You know what they walked out with?
Let me guess. A microwave.
Exactly. Dick Van Dyke had what they needed in stock, and the customer also remarked as to how helpful the salespeople were, too. Supply chain problems are still a thing, but this customer got the help they needed, and they wrote in to thank us.
You know, a little less whimpering in today's world can't be a bad thing.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Supply chain issues are minimized when you have multiple locations and people who know how to help you with your next purchase. All we do is appliances, and we do them better than anyone else. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, when you buy from us. Whether it's morning coffee to get you going, a mug of Hot Joe midday to keep you perky, or even a decaf to relax, you need a great mug. Right now, when you donate blood at the Impact Life Donor Center, we'll give you the most awesome camper-style metal mug or a voucher for a $10 gift card to Amazon, Lowe's, Starbucks, Target, or one of our participating businesses. But we know you really want the mug. Even if you try to give blood and find out you can't, we're going to give you a metal mug or a voucher for a gift card anyway. Giving blood is not a big deal, and you're done before you know it. Visit the Impact Life Donor Center today at Wabash and Chatham Road near Goodwill in Springfield, or on South Main Street in Decatur. Please give what's in your heart, because we are changing the world together. Visit bloodcenter.org.
Secure your camper-style metal coffee mug or a voucher for a $10 gift card to participating businesses. Make your appointment today at bloodcenter.org.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
If you're 19 or older with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma or diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're 65 or older, it is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. No matter the season, talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Furnished by the American Lung Association.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Finishing our review of the candidates up for election, and the gubernatorial race has got three candidates: Democratic incumbent Governor J.B. Pritzker, Republican challenger Darren Bailey, and Libertarian challenger Scott Schluter. Darren Bailey I talked with about a week and a half ago and asked what would be the first thing that he does if he's elected. Here's what he had to say.
Well, one thing that doesn't always get done is just literally cleaning the agencies, flushing them. There are no state agencies that are functioning properly. And being on the school board, I realized that that your organization is only as good as your leadership is, kind of a top-down approach. And so, getting rid of the Illinois State Board of Education, who have just terribly failed our students, the DCFS, Department Agency, I mean, on and on and on. I cannot look at any agency and say that it's performing anywhere near it. Most of them are utter failures. So putting good people with common sense, business-minded people in place to redevelop budgets and priorities and make these agencies begin to work for the people again. Tackling, I believe, the Safety Act needs completely repealed, and then we, behind open doors and with the public in full viewing, develop whatever changes that need to come. I believe that as my agency directors began to develop a zero-based budget, starting at zero, just like you and I do in our homes and in our businesses, and making sure that every dollar is accounted for. I believe we're going to find massive amounts of waste in these budgets that we can then begin to use to get Illinois healthy again. And one of the examples, obviously, is the recent $2 billion of fraudulent payments that was issued through the Illinois Department of Employment with unemployment. And those that concern was raised back in 21, and Governor Pritzker simply ignored it and did nothing about it. And then finally, just restoring our educational process. I mean,
and that's, again, the Republican challenger, Darren Bailey. I did want to ensure that you heard a bit from Scott Schluter, who is the Libertarian candidate on the ballot, and he has no illusions. He says a big victory will actually be if the Libertarian statewide candidates can get more than 5% to ensure that they have easier ballot access. But who is Scott Schluter? Here's Scott answering that question when I talked to him about a week and a half ago.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for talking to me. I'm Scott Schluter. I am an Air Force veteran. I was ammo in the Air Force, which is, I built bombs, maintained, inspected bombs, explosives, dynamite, ammunition, anything under the sun that goes boom. Outside of that, I got out of the military. I went to school for diesel mechanics, and that's what I do professionally. And kind of as soon as I got out of the military, I got interested in politics. Ron Paul had a big thing to do with that and kind of aimed me specifically at the Libertarian Party. And I've been a longtime activist. I got started about 2014 and have been kind of just hitting the ground running since. And it just seems like every election cycle, our options at just about every level only get worse and worse. And kind of decided to throw my hat into it and try to give the people of Illinois another choice and a better voice.
So Scott Schluter, again, he's the Libertarian candidate. I asked if indeed he is elected governor, what would be his first actions?
I've been telling people jokingly that first step when I get into Springfield is to sell the governor's mansion and put in single-wide trailers. No, I'm all about saving money. I'm all about cutting taxes, deregulating. Our economy is in a horrible, horrible position. Our state budget is just awful. And that's kind of some of the first things I want to tackle. On day one, I will begin the process to pardon all nonviolent drug offenders. Situations where there was no victim. It was simple. We've legalized marijuana recreationally in the state, and we're still, we still have people sitting in prison rotting over it. So that's one of the first things I want to do. Try to, give people some of their freedom back.
So, again, just some of what Scott Schluter had to say. Again, he has no illusions, but he is looking at a victory of possibly getting 5% or more of the vote, which would make the Libertarian Party an established party in the state of Illinois, allowing for easier ballot access. It is Election Day. Polls close at 7. I'm getting out of here today. I'm going to go vote. Then I'm going to kick back and relax for most of the day before I head over to the Bailey election night party to cover what's going on there as we watch the numbers come in. And, of course, teams are going to be all over the state at various election parties. The governor's going to be up in Chicago at his, and you've got candidates for other offices as well going to be all over the state. So we'll watch this closely, and we'll talk about it with you tomorrow. And really get your reaction to what the outcomes are. But keep in mind, we still have 300,000 or so outstanding mail-in ballots that could take up to 2 weeks to count in the state of Illinois. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Get out there, do your duty, and vote, vote, vote. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll be back here tomorrow bright and early at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's now 9 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville.